on that Daredevil? Are you going to be able to shut down that back line and maybe take out some of these strategists?
Well, let's see. Between these two teams, you know, can 100 Thieves bounce back from last week, or is Swamp Gaming going to remain at the top of the group, right? This team, you know, obviously there was whispers about how good they were, but now coming into it looked to be that for 100 Thieves side. They're going to play out with that group, kind of Vinny back onto his sort of classic character as they play this full counter dive around Delena. Again, you talked about him earlier, Gask, and so did Cozy. Let's see if they can heavily play around this Mantis buff for Delena as we start off with a very slow neutral fight as the point slowly goes to Swamp Gaming. 100 Thieves looked at touch for now.
It was very interesting. The 100 Thieves haven't gone for the Daredevil despite protecting it earlier, but I think with the Mantis being open, they just felt like triple strat was going to be their option and the way they take down this SG team. No one else has been able to beat Swamp Gaming thus far, but if anyone can do
that's
it,
what I'm scared about, chat. No one has been able to beat Swamp Gaming. Now 100 Thieves is going at it.
Valentina has been so impressive as a strategist and now has the Gambit available to her.
Well, there it is. They immediately commit that Deadpool ultimate on the backside. Trade back one, though. It's a 1-for-1 at the current moment, trying to play slow for the Deadpool. Enabled the side of Swamp Gaming, but they do have that point. However, missing one. Kraz and Vinny both going to come back on the Venom fast into this upcoming fight as 100 Thieves try to build towards that Ultron ultimate. Scatter on the right side angle, just into that taunt. Goes and takes out two. Make it potentially three. As that ante was big from Valentina, and 100 Thieves sent back to spawn.
That team fight lasted like, when they engaged, it was like 2 seconds. Everyone fell over.
With this before they try and change things up. You can already see TTK switching over potentially to Angela here. Maybe feel like you can do a little bit of it.
Oh no, TTK on Angela, bro. I don't. Chat, I'm scared. It didn't work. It didn't work out last time he did Angela.
Phoenix, of course, can be a big damage output on the other side as well for 100 Thieves. So can that be the difference maker? On the other side for SG, though, they have 2 strat ults to work with, so they're going to have a great time defending this one, if I'm honest.
Excellent points. 100 Thieves try and take that same angle. Valentina, Gambit, Raging Roll flush to the back side. You got those Loki crystals committed. The sustain at the current moment, sort of like a soft strat ult in their own. They try to push forward with that
good kite by 100 Thieves to live that, though.
But will they find the KOs? Deadpool committed onto the backside of, it looks like Winnie from the side of 100 Thieves, but he's able to live for the current moment itself, trying to stay grouped inside these drones and the healing from the rest of the squad. But Mello and Days fine on the 3. And with Valentina, that's multiple KOs for Delena. Unfortunately, Zensong
See, that's what I mean, though. Like, dude, Swamp Gaming is a really good team when it comes to, like, you know, both teams did a really good job on kiting.
They looked last week.
But like, as soon as like
nothing can stop them at the moment.
Both teams are done kiting. Swamp Gaming did a really good job. They went back in and just dominated the fight, bro.
Fearless, taking some of the fights and taking the 1v1s.
I also
as I said, I'm not necessarily surprised. Anyway, Portal is going to come through. It's a last-ditch attempt from 100 Thieves.
And touch for now. The straddle, so you mentioned Forky still has it. 100 Thieves close on Melania's ult. They're going to pop out last second. You see a lot of the really good strat players wait to the very last moment of the portal to pop out. They commit the Mantis ultimate, but you got to find the KOs. Looks like everybody leaves. It's disengaged from the side of Swamp Gaming, who going with the Daredevil. Days finds one with that Beast of the Abyss. TDK trades back one at least with his own ultimate, but are you going to find any more, right? It just seems like Swamp Gaming playing so patiently. They don't even just use Forky Dog's ultimate. He still has Invisible Boundary. They didn't even use it for the side of 100 Thieves. With that Mantis, Mello's there now on the backside to Self and Winnie. They fall. And in overtime, what a patient fight for Swamp Gaming that ends up 100-0.
Bro.
The experience that we are seeing from Swamp Gaming and what they've just learned over the last week of how teams trying to break what they are doing, because Swamp Gaming is setting the pace, really. Swamp Gaming is saying, this is how we're going to play the game. It's up to you whether you want to try and counter it or not. 100 Thieves tried 2-3 separate attempts of really trying to break through, and none of them found success because Swamp Gaming just have so much coordination at the moment with how they're prioritizing targets. You'll see that as soon as there's a little bit of damage done onto either a strategist or one of the duelists, Swamp Gaming instantly jump on that. The comms have to be perfect because they are making sure they shut down that player, giving them the player advantage off of the rip, and 100 Thieves struggling a little bit after round 1.
You can really tell Swamp Gaming kind of think about this game at a very high level in terms of the macro aspect of it, right? Like, it's disengaging 100 Thieves. It's kind of like Blur said, like some of these teams are trying to like kind of go in together, sort of apes together strong kind of situation. And Swamp Gaming aware of that is sort of disengaged. But now, like 100 Thieves have to rebound, right? They're still gonna, well, actually they're swap TDK over to the Magneto.
I like this 100 Thieves comp now. Now they're diving, chat. Now they're diving. I like that.
Trying to find that solution And that's going to also put Delena back over to the side lock with Millennia
I like
on
this
the
team comp.
Luna Snow. So they're trying to mix it up heavily, in fact, now popping out as well with Winnie on that White Fox.
Yeah, going to the 222 and the Luna Snow White Fox combo that we know and love, and I'm sure we were expecting to see a lot of here today, but already aggression coming out. Melophobia getting the opening onto TTK, so that Magneto shut down immediately.
Come on,
and then
TTK,
the follow-up
bro.
is just going to be as easy as you like. 100 Thieves scatter to try and escape, because Swamp Gaming just were able to punish them yet again.
TTK, I mean,
Yeah, 100% tough fight for 100 Thieves to win, but Swamp
You might
Gaming
lose
just
all your
commit
money,
that
bro.
one ultimate dive
Hunter
on
for
to
5 months.
TTK,
Appreciate
and,
it. Appreciate it.
I mean, that's just going to send 100 Thieves back. Now, 10% on the board built for Swamp Gaming. At least they're down to Straddle for 100 Thieves side. And not even close to that Luna Snow dance floor just
Bro,
yet.
Swamp
And they have so much
Gaming
space
looks...
to make up, right? How can they pressure the side of
They
Forky
just-
Dog
they
and
just-
Swamp Gaming?
they don't
right?
look like they
what
could lose.
does TTK do here? He's just kind of taking the space that's afforded them by Swamp Gaming, but it's almost baiting them into this choke point, which that Dance of the Butterflies is here. Millennium, though, knocks
Oh
him down.
my
No way,
God,
Melo.
the Dance of the Butterflies
What a
from
clap
Swamp
for
Gaming was
Millennia. And 100
canceled?
Thieves to disengage it, sort of baited them in almost. Daze gets taken out by
It
Delena.
was either a
They
good
removed
freeze
both
or-
players. However, Self
or it
goes
was
down on
the
the opposite
Fox.
angle. Dance of the Butterflies here. Does it force out Forky Dog and the Invisible Boundary?
Oh!
And actually, the damage is there with the White Fox ultimate, so everybody
Delena!
followed up, and that was an excellent push for 100 Thieves, as in the middle of the Invisible Boundary, they got the KOs due to excellent target focus and the point.
100 Thieves finally get their break then, and is thankful to some very well-timed ultimates, that's for sure. Swamp Gaming tried to counter them, but sadly they weren't unable to do so.
Nice.
Fantastic.
They're
timing
showing a
on the
little
side
bit of life
100
now, Chad. They're showing a little
And
bit
now
of
for Swamp
life.
Gaming, as you look at their ult economy, Krasman's going to have available Freedom Charge to really push in and do what it says on the tin. A little bit of a Freedom Charge to try and create some space for the rest of the team as they try and get into this one.
Now let's see how much freedom they can gain towards this choke of Swamp Gaming. It looks like they're sent back due to Krasmang's very own, so we commit that into the Valentino ult as well, but any KOs potentially come through the dance floor. It looks like the answer is no for now because they're playing around Millennia's
Come on, GTK.
dance floor, but here comes the Meteor M to help Peel. Dodged away, though. Nice job from Melo.
Yo, Tony Snell, bro. Come on, man.
Same thing with Self. Who can go bigger in terms
Put
of the
TTK on the computer, man. Why is Tony Snell playing right now?
No,
No,
KOs
no,
just yet
no.
until everybody else is here to follow up. Melo trades back at one for the very least, but it was an engage that worked out for 100 Thieves due to that aggression.
I need
Swamp Gaming,
TTK
they're
to
sent
play
back.
like
Again,
he's not dueling with me.
100
He's
Thieves look
playing
a lot
right now
better
like he
when they
duels
have
with me. I
control
need
of
him
the point
to
and they are
lock
almost
in, bro. This is
defending
not
rather than
him.
having to try and break a setup, and a part of that maybe is just from their experience and how much they've learned as this composition just seems to be a little bit more tailored around defending, especially with the Magneto being able to just absorb so much of that damage as well. But really, that White Fox has been such a good inclusion for them, and I think that maybe Swamp Gaming will look at this one and say, do we need a White Fox of our own to try and counter this one a little bit? But now we're going to get one more push from Swamp Gaming, maybe two, depending on the speed of which this fight goes.
Something to chew on for Swamp Gaming for sure, Gask. And Kraz gets frozen.
Wow, that guy almost
Millennium on
died
the
instantly.
backside.
Nice
job
freeze.
from the freeze from the Stratus player of 100 Thieves. However, Swamp Gaming playing it slow at the current moment. Scatter with the Deadpool ultimate. Throws it onto the back line, met by Winnie. And now Self is here to track down Melophobia, so using that Daredevil vision, finds the invisible Melophobia and actually is able to find that KO with the Luna Snowflake. He's been getting so much done. Excellent call-outs earlier by both you and Cozy to bring out how Self has been dominating. Scatter, another one. Dance floor here too from Delena.
Wow.
Don't
Hey,
even
yeah,
know if it was
that is a...
necessary because Swamp Gaming is sent away and will rely on this portal touch now.
Portal touch does come through, but they're just going to be too staggered here, and it's just going to allow Self to continue his domination and his reign of pain. This is why they protected Daredevil. This is why we wanted to see 100 Thieves on Daredevil, but Swamp Gaming are trying their best, forcing everything through, any ultimates available.
There's no
You can
way
see
100
Forky
Thieves...
drops the ultimate as well, so this is still alive for SG. 100 Thieves, can they hold on now?
I mean, they commit ultimates afterwards. Oh, Daze goes down. Sorry, Valentina goes down with the Raging Roll Flush as well, so nothing to counter it in 100 Thieves. They get it done. Yeah, they played it slow.
What a round from both teams, bro.
Now we're headed to Celestial.
100 Thieves,
it's
dude.
1-1.
I think that Swamp
Bro.
Gaming, I mean, they now know that Daredevil is such a huge
Bro.
threat, and whether we see a little bit
I
of
wish they would
adjustment
show
on
us the
their side,
stats in between
going
these
to something
rounds,
that's a little
bro.
bit
I
more
would
comfortable
love to
for
see
them.
the stats
Sure,
between these
Valentina
rounds.
on the gambit at the moment.
But
Is there
Self-
contemplation of should I switch over to White Fox and maybe we go
Self
for the
is,
White Fox and Luna Snow combo as well and go for a direct mirror?
I will
because
say,
100 Thieves
chat,
have found
I'm not
something
trying to be
here that has
mean. I
really
think Self
given
is a
them
really
success,
good player.
and that's why I
When they
wanted to
picked up
see
Self, I
Daredevil
was like,
for them. The stats
is this
don't
hero
lie.
pool
100
very
Thieves
big? Because I know he
haven't won
plays a
game
lot
where
of like
Daredevil's been
melee
banned away
characters,
from
but if
them,
melee is
but
not
perhaps
good,
now they can show
and
why
like, or
it's
he's
so
banned
important to
out,
have
I don't
Self on that DD.
think I don't think the team's gonna do well. But
Been absolutely
he's making,
phenomenal so
he's doing
far,
pretty well
especially with
right
that
now, bro.
snowflake.
He's
Maybe
doing
that's
pretty
why
well right
Forky goes
now.
for it on their own side. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, they have to up the pace here with that original flush onto Millennia and 100 Thieves. But they, alongside this Captain America, have done an excellent job of living. Well, Gask, this will be the deciding map, right? Starting it out, both teams are going to, you know, kind of control that objective. We'll see who gets pressed off first. It would be kind of unlikely, I think, for him to go down early. But Melo's been, like, kind of a hard target from 100 Thieves' side, right?
A very hard target indeed, and Valentina obviously has that Raging Royal Flush available, will pop it as well, and now this is where you need to rely on your Daredevil to go in and get a little bit of damage off the back of it as well. But you can see on the other side, 100 Thieves also pop their ultimate defensively to try and make sure that they can stay alive here. This is a huge fight that's going down, and as you said, whoever can get control of this first point, it could really show who is going to be able to win this game.
Yeah, it's an absolute clash of colors, but are the KOs going to come through for 100 Thieves' side? Meteor M to help peel the back line.
Oh,
Looks like
TTK, bro. Come on, man.
Side of Swamp Gaming, Devil out, committed by Dace. But will they find the KOs through all the healing that is coming from that White Fox? Like you mentioned, the freeze comes out. Nice job to slow down the White Fox. Also takes out of the ultimate, but Swamp Gaming are in control. Melo comes in with that Dance to the Butterflies. Is it disengaged? So the bubble here on himself and the deflect. They come back for Daze, and they do so. Nice disengage back from that White Fox with the shields that you talked about. Melo also invisible. You can't hide from the blind man of Self as TDK's there with the follow-up.
Nice.
Right,
You can't hide from the blind man.
The butterflies. And you talked about it, Gas Man. This White Fox has done so much.
It's just been massive for 100 Thieves.
This is a good game, bro. This is a really good game. I'm loving this.
The stall has been huge for them. It just has been the difference maker at times. But also, ultimate timing really worked out for 100 Thieves as well. Delina were able to get that Dance to the Butterfly after the fact of surviving, whereas Melophobia had popped it, not really found as much damage as they would have liked. And now 100 Thieves,
what's
they
the
will
overall
gain
score?
control,
You can
Swamp
see it at
Gaming
the
gonna
top
have
of
to
your
try and
screen.
break
It says
here. And as we
0-0.
learned from the previous one, 100 Thieves very successful once they have control of this point.
See if they can keep that success up. TDK trying to mark Melo for now. Which I believe the Snowflake, by the way, is going to be on Daze the whole time. Melo trades back to Lena, though. Nice work to actually capitalize on an aggressive play to Lena to control that high ground. Excellent tracking, and then the follow-up onto Self. But will they find the KOs? It looks like the peel job is coming through from 100 Thieves. They don't even have up that point given just yet due to Vinny stalling it out, right? Not even any percentage. Nice healing coming over to Vinny as well. Here comes the dance. Maybe from the side of Swamp Gaming onto the dive from Valentina. But no KOs found just yet with the Raging Royal Flush. Will they find anything after it? Potentially Scatter goes in with the band hammer towards the back line, but everybody else is here to peel. Look at this. TTK holding up the wall to make sure they can take down Daze. And Delena, nice double dash through Daze, coming through with the White Fox, now forcing the Luna dance floor from Forky Dog, but they are down a ton of damage, and they're able to take down Winnie regardless. Maybe they can clutch it up, right? All these teams like talk about winning in these 5v6s, and they trade it back, making it a 4v5. Melo with another one of Delena, same thing with Vinny. So with that, Swamp Gaming, in terms of ultimates, able to take advantage of 100 Thieves and flip the objective.
Yeah, perfect timing on the fate of both worlds there from Forky Dog. I saw it popped initially on the side of 100 Thieves, and I thought maybe it would give them enough just to be able to sustain and take out the enemy, but Swamp Gaming, again, they just timed their ultimates a little bit better on that side. And now they are hovering over 2 as well, but you can say the same thing for 100 Thieves. They have a better ultimate economy, and they just need to time these correctly. Initially, you're going to see Freedom Charge come out to create that space, and that should give Self the opportunity to let the devil out here.
Now slowing it down, everybody grouped together. Here comes that Dance to Butterflies. No CC to remove it, and Self there with the follow-up.
No way, bro. No way.
And that's just going to remove
everybody. They were I was about to say, that's a huge Captain America ult, but they're coming back? No way.
He's found 2. Maybe make it 3 onto TDK. Get the bubble.
Oh my god, bro. He looked away. If he didn't look away, he would have had that kill, man.
TDK. Scatter trying to clutch up, though. Is he 1v3? He threw out the ultimate. Found two, potentially. He's still bouncing around. It's Swamp Gaming.
Dude, this is a crazy good game, chat. This is a crazy good game.
Crazy as always. Very impressive from Scattergenji to be able to survive and, of course, utilize all of those abilities to try and shut down the remaining damage that had been done onto 100 Thieves. But I mean, TTK surviving was mental, but at least there was a follow-up. I think Daze might have been a little bit frustrated had TTK survived that one. But now here comes a quick push, because we're at 92% here for Swamp Gaming.
They go aggressive. Can they find the KOs through this? TTK trying to come and peel. I mean,
oh,
they have
no. This might be game. This might be game, chat. This might be game. This might, wow, that was a close one, but this might be game.
Delena probably to get staggered here on the back angle. Everybody coming back for Vinny now. I mean, overtime slowly.
Can they get the TP down? Come on, Millennia.
Actually, they do have it, right? With Millennia, potentially, with this portal in a moment.
You gotta get the TP down. You gotta get the TP down. You gotta get the TP down. You gotta get it.
Who is that all the way towards the spawn? It looks like
TP?
Somebody on Swamp Gaming side. Regardless, they get it done on Celestial Husk. They win 2-1 in a really fun matchup.
Oh, I mean, this is the matchup that we wanted with
How did
these
they get
two
canceled?
teams. We wanted someone to be able to push Swamp Gaming to this kind of level. We wondered how high is the ceiling of Swamp Gaming. Well, I think with Swamp Gaming, I mean,
they get that all the way, but you're losing.
Who is that?
Actually, they do have it, right? With Millennia, potentially, with this portal in a moment.
Who is that? That has to be Forky Dog. That has to be No, that's Invis. The Invis woman pushed him into spawn and canceled the portal.
You're losing everybody in overtime now, 14 as well.
32 and wow, Melophobia 32 and 6, 14 final hits. Daze.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal work out of Melo.
We'd see complete chaos there. Just honestly, perfect battle of momentum and adjustments. I mean, I felt like with the ult economy, 100 Thieves kind of had that to lose, and it was the Swamp Gaming being the Thieves and stealing that at the end. It's just that sustain they were able to do.
If they go to a break, chat, we can watch it in the game, but I don't think they're going on breaks.
Another great matchup coming up after this quick break. We'll get right back to
chat. I think they're doing breaks so we could go see it in game is what I was trying to tell you guys. How long of a break do we have? How long of a break? Well, it's fine. We could go watch it in the game. If they don't show it to you guys, I got you guys. Oh, it's a quick break, chat. It's a quick break, so we gotta do this quick. Okay, I'm gonna mute that real quick. Okay, where's the tournament? Esports, view match data, watch this. Oh my god, this thing is so cool, bro. It uploads like that, chat. That's fucking awesome. Okay, let's see. I think it was Forky Dog, right?
Is anyone willing to help? Clear the way.
Oh, it was Forky Dog. Oh, who was that? Who was
willing to help?
Oh, you know, technically speaking, if I pull up my glasses, chat, according to my calculations, Winnie could have teleported on Millennia and gave him a shield, a 360 shield to protect him from the pushes, you know, and stuns, okay, chat? So technically speaking, they could have avoided this situation, but I don't think they were obviously gonna expect that, so that is, chat, you cannot predict that, bro. That is not something that you can predict. But that does suck. The last time I was watching a stream, you're on a 10-game losing streak. Told you to buy a skin for the win. Hey, yep. Buy the skin for the win.
Oh, And welcome back, my friends. That was an absolute crazy
Show it again.
matchup. Obviously, we
Ooh,
saw, like I said, going into a battle of adjustments. And gotta ask right away, we saw the plan was Daredevil. We saw the bands, the protect,
Man,
right,
as a
just
prime
to
sub.
showcase what
You
was
can go
going to
back in
be
the
their
VOD.
plan
I think
heading
you can
in. And
rewind
Gaskin,
now.
I gotta say, a little shocked that really the first map of 100 Thieves, they didn't utilize the Devil. They had Self on Ultron. And
That was a really
it's
good
so
game, though, for
tough
both
to come
teams.
back in these domination quick matches after you lose something so quickly like
That was a really good game.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a head scratcher for me. If you're going to if you're going to protect Daredevil, and you know full well that you've struggled previously in games where you haven't had the Daredevil available, what was the decision there to try and go for triple strat? And again, maybe this is just the Swamp Gaming evolution, right? No one knows what to do against Swamp Gaming right now, so they're trying something a little bit different. They realized it wasn't going to go and work the way they had planned, so they changed things straight up and went for something that was a little bit more comfortable, and did find success. But I just think that at the moment, SG have a little bit more firepower in terms of when this squad is working in tandem. As I said, I keep saying it, their prioritization at the moment is absolutely fantastic. It's spot on. As soon as they lock onto a target, they eliminate them off the map so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought for sure that was the hardest test for Swamp Gaming. I mean, it was 100 Thieves to lose outside of the last, sustained effort from the Vanguard, which I think is Scatter wearing a 100 Thieves jersey. Did I see that on the... I mean, come on, that's what you want to see in the esport. But going into it, I mean...
Wait,
I think
what?
that the Vanguard comp was obviously leaning a bit more towards Swamp Gaming through it
Wait,
all.
wait,
TTK,
wait,
once he went over
wait.
That Magneto looked a lot...
Ball touch does come through, but they're just going to be too staggered here, and it's just
Wait, is Scatter Genji that's playing against 100 Thieves wearing the 100 Thieves jersey to beat them in? No fucking way.
Daredevil. This is why we wanted to see 100
Oh
Thieves on
my
Daredevil.
God.
But Swamp Gaming...
That
to, right, like how these teams are playing
is
in practice.
funny
where they're playing a
as
lot of,
hell, bro.
but regardless, like you mentioned, the flexibility
Oh
has
my
been
God,
big for
that is
every
very,
team,
that
including
is very
Valentin.
funny.
Will Swamp Gaming sweep 100 Thieves, or will they come back and steal the win? We find out right now, guys. The group stage is ready with 100
Let's
Thieves.
see
and
it.
Swamp Gaming, take it away, guys, for match number
Okay,
2.
before this next game, I gotta pee.
Yep,
I mean,
game
2
number
seconds.
2,
I gotta pee
immediately
real
into the
quick.
ban phase, and we go for the Elsa ban. Again, Gas, what's your thoughts on it, dude? Like, do we want to maybe think about the Daredevil, or not even? Who cares?
I just think everyone knows that with the threat of triple strat at the moment, Elsa is just too much of a threat to be able to pass up. You've got to get rid of her, sadly. And even with the changes that we've seen in the most recent patch, I think people are just a little bit scared of the power of Elsa, especially when you look at the duelists on both of these teams as well. If you give them that freedom, they will run through you. So I don't blame them for the ban. An interesting protect on the other side, though. For 100 Thieves, they're going to opt to protect Loki here, while, of course, the Gambit is going to be banned on the other side. So probably a Gambit protect to follow, and it looks like that is going to be the case. Valentina looked more than comfortable, if not exceptional, on the Gambit. So excited to see more from her.
Yeah, it's you got to pick your poison, like we talked about so many times. You know, you got to either deal with Mello on the Elsa, or like you mentioned with Valentina on the Gambit. Now for the opposite side, for 100 Thieves, they want to get that Loki copy, at least, or rather, you can get the Loki mismatch and copy their Gambit. Now we saw teams try to do this before, where you like copy the Gambit on the opposite side to go aggressive. Like I think we saw TSM doing that and stuff, but sometimes it can just not work out if your timings are a little bit off. For Swamp Gaming, now they get to think right after you go for that Loki ban and protect, they're immediately going for those counters to the Gambit compositions, but it's the Mantis that gets banned for Swamp Gaming side, opting into avoiding that hero, unlike the previous maps.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting one to get rid of the Mantis as well, especially because you've just seen 100 Thieves try and go for a trip strat and fail at it. So almost maybe you wanted them, but it's different for Convoy. I think that's going to be the main difference here. Convoy instead of Domination. The Mantis would have been a little bit too much if you had that constant pressure from the trip strats coming through as you're trying to defend or push the Convoy. You might have struggled a little bit, and we know 100 better at Convoy as well. They have a 0% win rate on Domination, but a 100% win rate when it comes to Convoy. So perhaps we're going to see a little bit more comfort for them. They're going for a comfort pick of Wolverine as well. We have seen them pull this out already throughout preseason. So perhaps that's going to give them a good chance here on this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Wolverine do well previously, trying to like maybe peel on the inside whenever there's like a hard dive. By one squad, but for 100 Thieves, they will be an attack first. Now we get to see the Invisible Woman and the Thing banned on opposite sides. We've seen the Thing actually kind of take over this map when there is these dive kind of compositions and stuff, and when a Daredevil is available. But the bans go through. We have a little bit of a difference based on the first map, and it's not going to be the Star-Lord coming through. on the side of 100 Thieves. They ban out the Invisible Woman at the very last bit, but you do still have that opportunity if you so choose. For Swamp Gaming, though, you know, they are up the map, and they could potentially 2-0 100 Thieves and remain at the top, which would set up an incredible match later on, Gask, right? If they were to play 100,
Okay.
or
Did I
rather
miss anything
play,
important, chat?
Team Liquid Citadel. But regardless, 100 Thieves are
sorry.
still in this matchup, dude. Like, in your opinion, what would they have to do on this map? I mean, they're obviously, like you mentioned, they're better on
Jay,
this
they
map
banned
type,
BS. Who
but
banned BS?
What were some bright spots you saw out of 100 Thieves to kind of come back on Midtown?
I do think it is trying to utilize
this.
this Wolverine, because we saw Convoy Midtown against FlyQuest. 100 Thieves had a pretty similar pick ban phase where they protected Wolverine, they protected Loki, and having Self with that ability to just jump on in, snatch someone away from position, and kind of make SG feel a little bit lost and lack a little bit of structure. 100 Thieves just need to penetrate with Self and then be able to follow up. And I do think that having the Loki as well is going to be very important for them, especially with some of these strat ults that are going to come through as well.
Yeah, and that really begs the question, you know, going back, like you said.
Okay,
Self
let's
is
see.
sort of
They banned
the way on forward,
Swamp
and it
Gaming
kinda seems to
banned
be
the Thing,
that
Mantis.
sort of narrative for 100 Thieves,
It looks
that,
like Swamp
Self
Gaming
kinda
had a really good
has to
ban.
pick up, you know,
And
that
then
old
Swamp
role
Gaming
that Terra used
banned
to fill, and
Invis
I think he's done it so
Gambit
far, at least
because
giving
they're
that
giving
advantage
them.
with the Invisible Woman.
Ooh, they're giving them
sort of
obviously the
mismatch when you
Gambit.
went for
So
that ban.
are they probably saved
There's
it?
no Mac on
They
the
want to
other
ban
side
Rogue.
either
That's good.
for the side
I don't
of
think the
Swamp
ban was
Gaming,
that
so,
bad.
You know, we'll see if he can find those. Valentina now backing up though on the height. Off
I mean,
angle,
they
still
did kinda give
controlled
them
by
Gambit
Swamp
and
as
also Tank
everybody
Pool,
is on height,
but
controlling it.
that's
TK,
actually
really the only one there to help disrupt it, but the card's still moving forward. They're building up towards those ultimates. Anti's come
Yeah, I
through,
think
TK
Swamp Gaming
brings
had a
back
better,
one, so it's
better
both
ban
of
phase.
these pulls coming in from the Angela and the Wolf, but no KOs found just yet, so they're building up strat ults on this defensive side. Scatter also has the Deadpool ultimate available, uses it on the backline. Self trying to find the Daredevil, but cannot. He evades for now. Green's also used on the offense. No straddles just yet for 100 Thieves yet for either. So Swamp Gaming still trying
Why
to
does
control
Winnie
this
never
backside
copy
angle.
Gambit?
These
He probably
force
doesn't have
cooldowns
the
out,
line
but
of sight of
KOs
him.
found for either
Maybe
side, 'cause ultimates
Valentina
to be
knows
built.
that, you know,
Oh,
they're
there
the
is the
only
first KO, though.
Gambit on the
It's
map, so
gonna
they
be
probably
Xenophobia
don't
will
try to be
follow
an
up
LOS
onto
of
Vinny,
the other
and
Gambit.
100 Thieves are
I mean,
going to
the
find
other
themselves in a
Loki.
5 versus 5, so at least it is traded out. But I think that Swamp Gaming have kind of worked out what 100 Thieves are trying here with the Angela and the Wolverine, just trying to pluck maybe some of those strategists away from their comfortable spots, be able to take them out, and then you can just push through and dominate with the extra player advantage. Hasn't necessarily worked out the way they would have wanted, but they are slowly but surely pushing this convoy at the moment and making it work.
I mean, I like it so far. They're playing from cover to cover. Green's used on the
Mythical,
inside.
please
Angle
last 3
copy
months. Hope
from
you're having a
Winnie.
great day.
But who is that on? Current moment, they're waiting to go on forward. Forky playing back towards that bus stop side. Valentina understanding there's going to be a straddle in a moment. Goes for that invisible boundary aggressively. It was Winnie who copied the invisible woman. Raging Royal Flush on the inside angle. Can they find the KOs in the sky? Potentially, it's no! Mello goes down! That
They
combo
killed
usually
him with
finds
the-
multiple KOs,
Ooh.
even invisible boundary.
They
Nice
killed the
shots
combo.
from Dilemma.
Good
To
shit
find
by
the
100
Sky
Thieves.
High Star-Lord. Daze goes down as well, so both strats or both duelists removed. This is the success we saw from 100 Thieves earlier in Celestial Husk, is finding those duelist players.
you gotta land
and
that, bro.
one after another. Forky
There's
on the
no way.
backside does find
Forky
Winnie on the
dog
flank.
with
Krebs is
no,
here.
no,
They're
no,
clutching
no,
it
no,
up.
no,
They've
no,
committed
no,
to
no,
Captain
no,
America
no,
Freedom
no.
Charge. Daze is with another one. And Krebs with
What?
another, so they might have
The
called it too soon.
no,
100
no,
Thieves are
no,
right.
no, no, no,
How
no,
on
no,
earth
no,
did SG just manage to pull that one out?
What?
Because 100 Thieves had the openers that they needed. You were thought they were just
100
going to be able
Thieves,
to
I
comfortably
threw
walk
that.
through and clean up afterwards. But
No.
SG, I guess, just timed ultimates correctly, and also, again, sometimes you just got to
Bro,
hit your shots.
a
And we saw
flanking
exactly
Luna
that from the side
chat.
of
Bro,
SG as well.
100 Thieves, you're gonna lose to a
Showing what you
flanking
can do
Luna?
on
That's
Winter
something I would
Soldier.
lose to in
Krabman
ranked.
also not being scared to get in the face of 100 Thieves as this Captain America right now.
Oh, Millennia falls over while Greens are up too. Oh, shoot. Winnie, rather, in this case, unfortunately losing his duelist, or his fellow strategist player. We also commit TDK's ultimate in kind of a lost team fight after one strategist after another aren't falling. And that's tough, man. That is definitely a mental break moment potentially after they clutch up basically 4 versus 6 on you.
Well, look at the difference. Swamp Gaming get those opening picks, and they continue to be aggressive, continue to try and stagger 100 Thieves, whereas I think there was a slight bit of hesitation on the 100 Thieves side where they were kind of stuck behind the convoy. They didn't all commit, but some did commit, which
This
just
is
meant
tough,
there was
chat.
a lot of vulnerable
I think
heroes,
100 Thieves
and
needs to
Swamp
win this,
Gaming
too, to
took
try to
full
get to the
advantage of it.
playoffs.
There was a couple of
I don't think they're
1v1s
gonna
on
make the
map that maybe
playoffs.
shouldn't have happened.
Playoffs?
Anyway, we get another team fight already
Talking about
occurring here, and
playoffs,
again, Daredevil is
playoffs.
going to be the focus from
I don't think they're
Self,
gonna make it to the
trying to get
preseason
any
playoffs.
little
They'll
bit of
still
damage
make
he
it to
can, but not able to pick anything just
the
yet.
normal stage, but
They're walking it up. Raging Roll Flush just smokes
Oh,
them.
no,
my goodness.
chat.
See,
Oh, no.
back
Stop
to the
it.
spawn. That's
Stop it.
everybody. Overtime
Stop
now
it.
slowly dwindles,
Someone call the
and
fucking
nobody's
police.
gonna
I'm
even
witnessing
pull.
a
I mean,
murder
just
right now.
absolute
Stop it.
dominance after that hold from Swamp Gaming as 100 Thieves get held on first point.
Swamp Gaming, take a bow. Are we witnessing the start of something new here in Marvel Rivals Ignite? I think Swamp Gaming might just be the team we are talking about for an entire year at this rate from just what we've seen.
I think
in
this
these
meta
first
is just
couple of
not
weeks.
for
I know
100 Thieves
metas
right now.
develop, They
And
shift,
and
people can study, but people,
maybe
and
the
100
meta
Thieves in
might
particular
shift, but
have
because
had time
even
to
if they don't
study
make it to the
Swamp Gaming
preseason
coming
playoffs,
into
chat,
this
they're still
one
going to make
and
it
are
to the
still
stage
struggling
1.
to break through.
What do you call it?
Scream how impressive
For
Swamp Gaming
the
are at
mid-season
moment, then
finals.
I don't know what is.
They
What do
they
100
need to
Thieves have in terms of
hopefully
defense?
get a
Because
meta
they did
shift
not
or
get
something.
particularly far
But
there. Swamp Gaming.
I don't
arguably
like
only
what they're.
need
I don't
one,
like.
maybe 2 wipes.
I don't
And
like
not
what's going on
only
right
will
now.
This map be theirs, but this entire match will be theirs.
Yeah, 100% Swamp Gaming, could be starting.
I think.
I was looking it up. I was like, okay, what is their phrase?
I don't
Their
know,
hashtag?
man.
It's
I feel like they're very
Swamp. Is that
lost.
Maybe I'm not giving any credit.
I love
But,
TTK, but I don't think the
I need a better
Angela's
phrase than
going
that,
to
dude.
work.
I mean, I was scared right now of Swamp Gaming, like you said, but if you're the Swamp, is that that's our phrasing?
Yeah, I would have gone for something like, "What are you doing in my swamp?" or something along those lines, maybe.
That's maybe copywritten, though.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, probably is, but, maybe they can scream it in their comms. That's all that they need to know. Anyway, a chance for Swamp Gaming to show us just how impressive they are on the offensive
Wait, they
side.
can still
Now,
make the
100 Thieves are
preseason
gonna go for
playoffs
something
after
a
this
little
loss.
bit
They'll be
different.
1
You
and
can
2.
see
They
Adam
can still
Ward's
make
gonna be
it.
pulled out, so they are maybe worried that they're going to lose a couple of players, might have to get that karmic revival.
We're the winners, bro. We're walking like
Yeah, we'll
ballers,
see if 100 Thieves have figured out, because the
J3,
Invisible
you've
Woman
got to tell
mismatch has not
TTK and Gillian.
sort of panned out for him so far.
Chat.
But maybe with days going over
I
the
listen.
Wolverine
I
camp at
appreciate the
bottom.
massive
Nope,
dono
force physics,
from
Vinny.
Dusk, but
Goodbye.
like,
See you in the spawn.
I have no say in
And,
what these
yeah,
teams
that's what
do,
happens
bro.
against Wolverine,
I am just
and
a
it's mag
streamer.
bubble on
We
him.
watch these
Good job
games,
by
chat.
Daze.
I am not in their
And
scrims.
that
I'm
was
not
what
in their
100 Thieves
practice.
were
I don't know
unable
what
to
they're
do on their
practicing.
offensive
So
side. Wolverine just wasn't really able to get that pick, and it meant that Swamp Gaming were able to just constantly back up, get those strategists to level up their ultimates a little bit, and they were just getting stronger and stronger on the defensive side. And now Swamp Gaming can start to tear through 100 Thieves. Valentina has been excellent.
Yeah, just playing hyper aggressive, right? It's just trades after trades. BRB brings them back, and everybody else here on the inside just waits for their demise. It kind of under talked about almost too, by the way, is like the mental aspect of it, because Vinny was able to get grabbed by Daze, and yes, that was a good play by Daze, but also like sitting in that angle is tough, right? And 100 Thieves now. 3 minutes
Mythical
left
for
to
3
go.
months.
Portal
Appreciate
plays
it.
come
Hope you're having a
back
great
from
day.
Self. They're on triple now, but into the Wolverine. Self gets deleted.
Deleted, removed, and looks like it might just be enough for 100 Thieves to survive for now. But how long can they survive? Swamp Gaming just need to reset, gather up. You can see a switch over to Moon Knight for Metaphobia as well. If there's any sort of grouping, they're going to be very quickly eliminated. You can see the
This
group
might
is
be an
gonna
early
press up.
07
Plasma is
chat.
more than happy,
This
and
might be an
100 Thieves,
early
are they gonna have
07.
anything to try and stop this? It looks like the answer is going to be no hit, Dogman.
Yeah, Self has to run, install it out. Groot ultimate available. You said there's nothing against it. Let's see what happens. Here comes that Groot ultimate on the back. It's caught onto Millennia. And
yeah,
Vinny,
this might
goodbye.
be
See
it.
you
I
later.
don't even want to watch
And
it
that
anymore,
Strangling
chat.
Prison
I don't want to watch.
Might have put a stranglehold on 100 Thieves' chances
I don't wanna
to
watch.
win this map, considering it. Oh, just across the map, Kobe from Krad 2-0 out of Swamp Gaming. 100 Thieves are drowning in said swamp as Swamp Gaming sit atop Group A.
Drowning in the swamp. I kind of like that.
Such an impressive match yet again from Swamp Gaming. Just when you think maybe they're going to slow down, maybe there is going to be a response from another team to show that, in fact, they do have a weakness. They show us that they are the dominant force in this group, maybe in this region at this rate from what we've seen thus far, Dogman, because no one seems to be able to touch them. 100 Thieves, they tried, and even in the domination, they were able to take one round off them at least, and thought maybe that was going to be enough, but just so good from Swamp Gaming right now as we take a look at some of these stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Swamp Gaming, I mean,
congratulations,
they're just dominating
everyone,
that
on
department.
Swamp
Cozy, I'm
Gaming.
sure you're going to walk us through
I
it,
hope
dude,
you
because
guys
Swamp
enjoy
Gaming,
your money.
It's as you would